Okay. What's going on, good people? How we doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to their week, or middle of the week, I should say. But you know how we do, man. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. Let me get a thumbs up in the chat, or just let me know if I'm good in the chat if the audio and visual is good. Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows What. We talking Giants War Room, and I got a special guest today. So obviously, we know we're playing the Dallas Cowboys this week. Both teams are 0-1. But for one of us, it looks like it's a brighter side of 0-1. The other side, us, doesn't look too bright. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in my man, your guy Nix, in the building. Go ahead and show my man some love. Nix, what's going on? Hey, yo, Nix.
Yeah, I mean, boy, I tell you what, man. Appreciate you as always, good brother. Is my audio good? My microphone good? Can y'all hear me good? Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I loud and clear? All right, 10-4. Dash, I want to go back to 23 for a second, if I can.
Oh boy.
So we'll go back to 23, right? And Dash, we was in the spaces, we was on the shows, and a lot of Giants fans really, that game we had to play, and close the gap, right? It was we have closed the gap, and then the gap looked like 40-0, right?
See,
hold on, wait. This isn't a dig. Hold on. This isn't a dig though. But this isn't a dig though, because I went and watched y'all play and everything else, and I remember that time frame and what happened there. And I'll tell you what, as I was invited to a couple of Giants spaces, I've had some conversation with Giants people. I've had a conversation with you even. I'm telling you now, in my estimation, the closing the gap 40-0 burger, I have not seen this fan base down this bad as I've saw it this week. And I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah. So, you're absolutely right, man. It was a kick to the gut, because again, we went into this season high, now I won't say it just high expectations, but expecting to see more. And I said a joke to somebody yesterday, man. For the people that watch Disney, fans of Disney, got kids that watch Disney. If you remember the movie Ratatouille.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When he tasted the ratatouille and it took him back to his childhood, that loss to the Commanders took me back to 23 and 24. It looked the same as 23 and 24, and that was the most disheartening thing about it, though. But listen, so I don't appreciate you bringing up the past. 2023 was different.
My fault. I mean, but
you good.
But I had to bring up the past a little bit just because, like, the fan base for y'all wasn't that down to me as it is right now, and I'm like, is it? And I want to ask you this question: Is it because the Daniel Jones was kind of the built-in excuse, and he's not here anymore, and finally y'all have to look in the mirror and be like, "Yo, this dude diabolical." Y'all's head coach, might be the problem. Is that where the realization is? I know there's some. I mean, I hear some things behind the scenes on y'all's point, but
not everybody in the fan base is quite there yet. And going into at the end of last season, I was aboard the train of the fire Joe Shane, fire Daboll, start from scratch, at least fire Shane Bowen, and none of that happened. We insisted on making the defensive backs coach, the fall guy. Obviously, not the preseason, but free agency happened, the draft happened. Drank a little bit of Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid was sweet, tasted fantastic.
Got y'all's Micah Parsons version. I mean, we got Micah Parsons no more, but you got y'all's Micah.
We can get to that too, man. We got some jabs to throw, right? We got some jabs to throw. But then, again, and I had shout out to my man Deuce from the Red Zone. I had him on last week. He was the first guest.
So to Deuce,
for the
man,
War
good
Room.
guy.
Shout out to Deuce, yeah. And and me and him, we got a similar, relationship where we talk ball. It ain't just trash talk. We throw jabs back and forth, but it's going into that game, he was telling me like, I made jokes about his acquisitions being old men. Come to find out Sunday, all the old men was on the New York Giants offensive line. Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad, and of course, what a difference a game makes. Because we went in there with optimism. Russ, even though we didn't expect Russ to be the Russ of old, we thought he was going to look better than that. And then, like you said,
better than Daniel Jones, right? I mean, we're just looking for better than Daniel Jones.
Listen. And then what Daniel Jones did against Miami
Salt
didn't
in the wound. Salt in the wound. Yeah,
at all, because again, a lot of this fan base still feels way about Daniel Jones.
Look, I ain't gonna name no names in the space that I was in. Shout out to 1C. I ain't gonna name no names, but there was a guy in there. I'm not gonna look. I ain't put nobody on Front Street. Said I feel like I want to give an apology to Daniel Jones halfway through the season. I was like, hey, yo. I was like, yo. But that's how I knew it was bad. That's how I knew it was bad for y'all. When I started hearing that talk, I was like.
So just imagine this, though. Our timelines are different. So you got less Giant fans on your timeline. So imagine what my timeline looked. You know, Daniel was never the problem. Told you Daniel. And I'm like, wait a minute. He got to play the Broncos this week. Talk to me after the Broncos game. Then you might have my ear a little bit. Then you might have my ear. But until then, it is what it is. But now, even some of the people that's in the chat right now, they all for Brian Daboll. Even though for me, it's a chink in the armor right now. I'm going back to how I felt back in January, and that's not a good thing. I need to look better this week against y'all. So I do want to talk about.
He was coach of the year one time, right? He was coach of the year one time, right?
He sure was. He sure was.
How long? How many years ago? Yeah.
You
know, you got to plug. You got to plug. Shout out to the wifey. Yeah, shout out to the wifey. But she be making these things.
It's always the wives, right?
Yeah, they be holding us down. You know, the wifey's always be holding us down, man. And look, and here's the thing. Look, if I don't use the cup during the show, she's like, "Oh, you didn't use the cup I made you." Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You didn't like it.
You didn't. Yeah. What's the problem? What's the problem?
You feel bad.
How many years ago was it that he was coach of the year?
It was the first year, 2022. Talking 3 years ago.
I just want to make sure I have my stats right.
No, you're right. You're right. So I just want to do a quick roll call for the people that's in the building. Shout out to my guy, that dog friend. He said he wasn't even going to make it tonight, but he still offered a $2 super chat. So shout out to that dark friend. My man Jerry McGriddle says first. Okay, you the first one here. My man
Cowboys in the building.
Okay, that's what's up. Oh, that's the Cowboys guy. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Jerry. You know what? If you don't know about Jerry McGriddle, right? So, like, there's a nice little video out there where Jerry gets a McGriddle for breakfast, and you know what he does? He takes salt and pours salt on top of it, and then eats it. So yeah, that's the. Don't. Maybe that's why he's staying alive so long. All the extra salt preservatives. I don't know.
That's the preservatives, right?
Salt on the McGriddle is how you can live long. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Shout out also to my man Jay Ferris. Me and Jay Ferris been going back and forth, and I know he's ready to take his victory lap. He was not for the Russell Wilson signing at all.
Ooh.
And you see his comment. It says "War Room," more like Panic Room, bro. Don't worry, Carlton Banks. That's his nickname for us, Carlton Banks. Get you out of this.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me hit him one time.
Yeah. Nah, Jay Ferris does not like Russ at all. I was going back and forth with him all summer long, saying, you know what? I know it's not the Russ of old, but I think he can be on time. And
you know what? The fall of Russ. You know what though? Here's the thing though. The fall of Russ from the trade to Denver and how things have proceeded from there needs to be studied, because where he was there to now, wow. I mean, I think he was actually playing pretty well underneath Peyton until they got into the whole we want to change your injury clause, and that kind of went left. I think he had moments. I think he had moments in Pittsburgh that you were kind of buying.
He did.
But yeah, 17 for 37. I understand. Yeah, I understand right now. But it's just week one, right?
Yeah, he's limited. He's limited. Again, he's a shorter guy. Some of the throwing lanes, if they're not naturally there, he has trouble seeing the field.
Yeah, y'all can block them. Never mind. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, but that part too. That part too. But
yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
We gonna tuck it for a little bit. Okay, all right.
Well, what's up that a little bit? Yeah, we can't give everybody everything out front, baby. We gotta wait. We got time, man. I'm kicked.
You're right. So
go and get this chat. This chat's blowing up. Let me get my ass out of the way.
Shout out to Luann. Luann is a day one right there. She is a very, 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 very supportive Brian Daboll fan. She loves Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll is not the problem. You know, that's Luann. Shout out to Luann. And she said, shout out to my man Coach Ed in the building. Protect your bag. Says, when are we getting rid of Daboll? You see it. You see it already. My man Fight is destiny with the yo-yo. Yeah. It's been a bad week. Like, and I've been going off too, man. I've been going up. McGriddle says it hurts. I don't know what he's talking about when he said it hurts. Maybe
probably about Jerry saying alive so long. It's probably where he's at, but neither here nor there. See, I don't campaign. Yeah, I don't campaign on none of that. But yeah, like I can control the Cowboys Nation.
Yeah. And then my man Protect Your Bag said he's going to be in Dallas for the game. Salute to you, Protect Your Bag.
Salute, brother. Yeah.
When you're in the building, Protect Your Bag.
I will not be there. Noon games, I will not be there. But I'll be there week 4, Green Bay. If you want to pull up in Green Bay, I'll be there for the Green Bay game.
I had said at the beginning, like in the summertime, like because again, I had high expectations. I was like, man, if we start this season 2-0, I might go to the Kansas City home opener.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to a game until these guys prove that they can put a watchable product on the field. That's not happening, especially if I'm going to spend my hard-earned money. My man James Wilgus, he says,
what if y'all win?
Oh, it's still not 2-0. It's still not 2-0. It's 1-1, and then
you're right.
How that looks, because again, these first 4 games for us, and I'm not sure who your 2 opponents are after this. I didn't get a chance to check that.
Bears, yeah, we got the Bears. After y'all, it's the Bears, and then the Packers. Bears on the road and Packers at home.
Okay. I remember the week 4 matchup against the Packers. That's right. That's Micah's return. Yeah, that's Micah's return. So shout out to my man James Wilkins. He says the fact that Daboll and Bowen are still on the Giants coaching staff is going to this game is crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, scary. Those 2 men are a disaster. The current Giants roster is doomed because of them. So you see the vibe, man. The vibe is until you get this man out of here, there's no hope, and that's what it is. And I will ask you some questions about what you saw. Since you said you saw the all 22. I went back and watched it too. And like I said, I was impressed, even though the box score does not tell the story of your game at all. I would say that about y'all game. From what I saw to what I like, I'll get into it. Matter of fact, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it right now. Shout out to my man Born for Sports, also in the building. Rick Torch also in the building. We're going. Yeah, let me chop it up. Let me chop it up with my man Nix for a minute. All right. So again.
Where you want to go?
You going into the season, there was some questions about your defensive line, right? Obviously, you make the move, you trade Micah Parsons, and you get Kenny Clark back. And a lot of people are like, who's Kenny Clark? I'm like, wait a minute. What y'all been waiting for, what y'all wanted from Mazi, that's what Kenny Clark is. And I'm saying Kenny Clark is that dude. So again, I remember the push for Mazi 2 seasons ago. I remember you was one of the ones driving that train for Mazi. How do you feel now with the defensive front? Well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, look. I mean, I knew they liked Mazi heavy in the building, and where we were picking at and where it was, it just kind of made a lot of sense. And putting Mazi aside I won't put Mazi aside for a second. We watched him play a ton, right, in training camp or in preseason games, and within our own fan base, whether it was content creators, fans, like everybody was kind of back and forth on Mazi. And I think for me, where I reside at personally is when you do tape work, right? Like, look, here's what we could do real quick, right? You could take a guy. We'll take a guy, right? Let's go. And this is a Giant centric space, so let me go with let's go. Let's say a divas tackle. Let's go Dexter Lawrence for a second. Let's go there. And all right, and you're saying, hey, he's the best divas tackle in the league. At worst, top 3. And I could be like, I'll be honest with you, dog. I don't think he's top 10 because I don't really think he's that good. And then you go do your tape work. You'll put about 4 or 5 minutes of tape together. I'll go over here and do tape work for 4 or 5 minutes, and we can slice the tape how we want it to make it to prove our point, right? Yep. And we'll both look right. And that's to me, it's the unfortunate thing about quote unquote doing the tape work, the all 22, all those things is you can take, if you have a position that you want to have, you can chop tape how you want to. So I thought what was disingenuous. I don't even want to say this. Yeah, no, it's disingenuous. I'm going to stick with that. From the fan base of certain content creators was they were taking different slices of what he was doing in preseason and trying to prove their point. And I'm like, well, the truth is actually in the middle. Look, he can show you that he can do it when his get off and his technique is right. Yeah, he can do the job. The problem was you would get that 2 plays in a row, then he would miss 3-4 plays in a row. It was the consistency factor that nobody wanted to talk about. It's not that he can't do the job, but you have to do the job in this league consistently. And therein lied the issue when it came to Mazi. So now I'll put the Mazi thing to bed for a second, and I'll pivot back here. So we traded for Clark. We moved Micah, the 2 first, and Clark. And I said, okay, I understood who Clark was, and I understood where he was last year. I immediately jumped on the horn with my Green Bay guy. I said, hey, and we've been talking back and forth a little bit about the Micah deal. Say, all right, Clark, talk to me. And he's like, look, I know it's not a lot of consolation to you because obviously Micah's gone. He's like, but he's absolutely going to help your run game. And I was like, okay, what was it? I said, but my question is, what was the problem last year, though, right? That's kind of where the slippage was for a lot of people, where he was, right? Former 3-time Pro Bowler, whatever. Run game wasn't good. Defense last year. He said, look, he didn't have a guy next to him to help him. And he was dealing with a toe injury that he had surgery from. And from everyone that he had talked to, it was successful. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what it was. And I think in week one, be very clear, when he was on the field, the Cowboys gave up 2.8 yards per carry. And when they did takeoffs, get-offs for defensive tackles, he was in the top 3 week one. So it seems like everything that my guy fed me information on seems to be correct. And look, I mean, Giants, you already know. We ain't been able to stop the run here in Dallas for like 2 decades, right? I mean, just keeping the bean. Look, I ain't going to lie to you, dog. Like, we ain't been able to stop the run. Look, I can go all the way back to our game against the Rams before they were even in SoFi, and they've got Butterball, C.J. Anderson off the couch, and he put 200 on our head, and then he rode off to the sunset. You know, we just have not been able to stop the run. And you talk about defensive tackle tandem of a Clark and an Osa. Literally, it's the best defensive tackle tandem that we've had side by side in over a decade. It's just what it is. So, you know, from that standpoint, Clark is a huge get. He's got a 3-year contract. This year, $3 million, then $20 million the next 2. No guarantee or no signing bonus. We'll see if they restructure that. But
most likely,
again, week one, check mark for Kenny Clark, and we was able to do.
No, absolutely. I think he flashed. And he flashed early. He set a tone play too early on in that game too. Yeah. So, like I said, for a lot of the Giants fans that didn't know who Kenny Clark was, again, we talking Micah Parsons and we talking Kenny Clark. That's tucked away in Green Bay. A lot of people are not going to be so familiar with Kenny Clark unless you type that, not even dig into the tape, but just know your history about Kenny Clark. But I think that was a good pickup for what you guys needed, and it showed.
Scheme fit too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
For what Eberflus wants to do, and that's what. And another thing on our side was everyone's like, Harrison Smith got traded. Not Harrison Smith. Phillips from Minnesota, and I'm like, guys, that's. Like, he's not a scheme fit for us. Sure, if we were running Zim scheme, I was like, look, it doesn't matter what the fan base wants as a defensive tackle. You have to understand what Eberflus is looking for as a defensive tackle. So every guy that got moved wasn't a guy that was going to work here. The great thing about Kenny Clark was he was a guy that absolutely works in this scheme for what he brings to the table. And I tried to tell him, I said, think about it like this. So we made the move for Phillips last year, former Bill. We got him from y'all, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was wasting away over there. Yeah, Jordan Phillips, right? And we made the move for him. And then it didn't work for us, and he was up out of here. I was like, here's the thing about Jordan Phillips. He wasn't a fit for Zim scheme. Jordan Phillips this year would have hit like cracking the 80s in this scheme of what he does and how he penetrates. So you just have to understand.
Now either.
Well, I mean, hey, that's on y'all
right
side.
now. It's scrap. It's a scrap.
Okay.
Now, but so I'm just gonna ask you flat out, as far as again, you going into that Philadelphia game, did they exceed your expectations, or was it right on par with what you thought as far as your defense versus that Philly offense?
Yeah, I thought
you guys shut down. Like, where was he? You know what I mean? The passing game, but I mean, Jalen Hurts on the ground is what it is. Similar to what we did with Jayden Daniels. You know, they're gonna get their first downs on with their legs. And I just think that this week, I'm just gonna talk about it just for a second for both of us, and correct me if I'm wrong. For both of us, the defense is probably going to play a little bit different because you don't have that threat of a running quarterback. Like, guys can move the scramble to make plays and extend plays, but I was looking at Dak a little bit, and there was one where he extended the play. He got the ball out, but looking a little slow. Look a little slow. He did a good job.
He did a good job. In the year of our Lord 2025, I can confidently say that Dak is more mobile than Russell Wilson, and I never thought I'd be able to say that any point in time. Not that Russ can't move still. Russ can't move like he used to move, though. Russ was a problem with his legs at one point. That's not Russ anymore. See, you know what I'm saying? That's not the point anymore of him.
The bad thing about that is actually, he moved the chains a few times running the ball last week. He got the John Elway spun around at the goal line thing, but I tell you what, the legs didn't look
Did he
bad.
score? Because I think Elliott scored on the spin around.
Let me add, yeah. Well, the question is, did we score at all?
As far as y'all scored
touchdowns. We didn't
yeah.
touchdowns at all.
Did y'all throw a pass to the offensive lineman too? Y'all do that? Y'all do
listen. You know what?
Okay.
I can laugh at that. I can laugh at that because I felt the same way.
Too soon.
Too soon. About it.
My bad.
No, not even. Okay. Trust me. I've done a lot of healing in the past 4 days. A lot of healing. I identified
spaces were therapy spaces for sure.
My gosh. But not like I said, for me, watching you guys last week, it opened my eyes because I knew you guys had the addition of George Pickens, which he had a couple of plays. He almost pulled the George Pickens. They didn't see it though, grabbing somebody's leg. But and my wife's a Pittsburgh fan, so I'm very, very familiar with George Pickens. But
he did get a personal foul. He did a 15 personal foul penalty.
He did. Yeah. But I'm like, man, I did not expect for Dak to look as sharp as he did. Like, again, the box score doesn't say, I think, what he had, like 180, 160, something like that.
Yeah, and we have 4 drops for 110 yards and a touchdown in the second half.
I was going to get to that part. And the funny thing is, I think that the play that changed the game was a lot of people want to look at CeeDee for 2 of those drops. That fumble by Miles Sanders was a momentum killer, in my opinion. I think that.
Don't disagree.
What? Say it again. I missed it.
Yeah, so no, I don't disagree. No, I said I don't disagree.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no.
But the play before that, Ferguson just got a paycheck though, right? Look, I ain't trying to be funny because I like Fergie, but the play before that, Fergie, you got to catch that, fella. You got to catch that.
I'm out of college. Ferguson was on my short tight ends that I wanted to pick up. Yeah. When that year he came out, he came out 2022, right? Was it 2022? Right? Yeah. I think so, right? Was he Wisconsin, Ohio? He was
Wisconsin. Yep, Wisconsin. Okay. You got it.
Yeah. No, I like Jake Ferguson. I'm always a fan of the tight end, Pauls. But I was just like, you know what? Dallas is better than I thought. Because you know what? I'm thinking for me, but prior to the game, I'm like, we made these new additions. The defense on paper looks pretty good. Are we close? Because for Giants fans, it's all about closing the gap. Are we closing the gap on Dallas? Are we closing the gap on the Commanders? I don't even think about closing the gap on Philly because it's just the talent gap is just too wide right now. But I'm just thinking, like, can we catch that lightning in a bottle? Can we get that 2022 vibe back where, okay, nobody really knows how we're going to play. We got all these new players, offense and defense. Nobody has seen Brian Daboll call plays for run. And then all of a sudden the game happens. And all of a sudden everything just flashed back. And I'm just like, oh no. But like I said, I was disappointed. I was mad. You brought up CeeDee in drops, right? And I saw that he went straight to the jugs machine. That's the clips that I saw.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, CeeDee is CeeDee. I mean, he had some tough drops, but I don't expect that to linger with him because.
Well, the one thing about CeeDee is when he has a bad game, he typically goes on a tear for 5 to 6 weeks. So sorry for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sorry in advance. Not really, but kind of a little bit. And this is a game where he had 110 yards and 10 catches. And it was a bad game. Yeah. Yeah. No, all bad games aren't built the same. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
my fault. Let me get to some more of these comments really quickly. Shout out to Ortipas Mordred says they play too safe. It doesn't work. Embo needs to start, which I do believe Embo needs to start at tackle. We'll see what happens with that. Probably not going to happen. Protect your bag. Says next week?
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
A couple more linemen to score in the 50s as far as PFF before we throw them in there, right? Okay, here we go. We got Don Juan 202 Southside DC. He says salute to the chat. Shout out to Nix, hashtag Cowboys Nation.
Cowboys Nation.
Shout out to all the people in the building. Make sure you hit that like button too. Let the algorithm know that we in the building, and the algorithm will
hit that. If you ain't subbed, hit that sub as well. You hear?
That's a fact. We family. We family out here. So, and like I said, I do apologize for the chat. Usually, when I do these lives, I hit all the chats. I got a guess.
Hold on.
I want to,
get that super chat. Let me get that super before we go. Yeah, get that super.
Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox with the $10 super chat. Hold on, let me get my super chat money going on. Hold on.
I need dollar is what
I need. Yeah. Come on.
Shout out
Come
to my
on,
man
fella.
Joseph Wilcox, $10 super chat. He says, "Hey Giants fans, don't panic. There are 16 games left. I have been a fan since 1958." Shout out to you, Joseph. And me and Joseph be talking to the grandkids, be driving them crazy and all that. Yeah, Joseph a cool dude, man. But he says back when Coughlin was a coach, 2005, 2006, my young family members wanted him gone. But what happened? Yeah, we ended up turning around and getting some Super Bowls. Are we putting him in that same pot, though? Are we putting Daboll in that same pot as Coughlin? We got to see it.
Look,
we got to see it, Joseph.
That door. I ain't gonna hold you, Joseph. Eli ain't walking through that door.
We do have a Jackson Dart. We got a Jackson Dart, which everybody's waiting for. We waiting for Dart. The problem is, though,
not your GM, though. I'm sorry. My bad.
You cool. Nah, you cool.
My bad.
Listen. It's Brian. Listen, yeah. Joe Shane. I believe that because I even going into the season, I thought Brian Daboll was still on the hot seat, right? And we already knew we were a couple plays away from seeing Jackson Dart. For me, I said, you know what? If we don't see Jackson Dart, that means Russell Wilson is doing his job. We're winning and we're holding him off. I said, if we do see Jackson Dart, that means Russell Wilson is awful. He's not doing his job, and they're going to try to get the kid in here for a spark. I don't think it happens this week. Again, they already said Russell's going to start this week, but I think that leash got a little bit shorter.
You know what, Dash? What? And here's where I'm at with OBD.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, he was non-committal to the quarterback and who was starting, and then come Monday, come to Jesus meeting with those in the building, whatever. Hey, my bad. I was emotional. You know what I mean? It's definitely Russ. Whatever. Hold on.
That's
smells
why I
like the scent. Smells like the scents behind the scenes.
That's why I like you, Nix. I know you pay attention to everything. You catch everything. You don't let too many things slip past you. Yeah, we caught that, and then he tried to clean it up. Just like him and Malik tried to clean it up too with the whole little back and forth that they had on the sideline. Again, it does not look good. It does not look good, and also it doesn't help when every time you see some videos from practice, he is right in Jackson Dart's hip pocket, smiling all in his face. He can't wait. But no, you're absolutely right. I think that the people told him, because a lot of people felt the same way. Like, we got to see Jackson Dart. And I'm saying, well, hold on a minute. It wasn't just Russell Wilson playing bad. It was the people in front of him that are getting paid to protect him. And do you want to throw Jackson Dart behind that? And that's my thing. If you're going to throw Jackson Dart in there, let's make sure that the offensive line can do a little something first. Maybe we get Andrew Thomas back.
Yeah, Evan Neal was a healthy scratch.
Oh man, listen, he's as good as toast, man. Listen, he was a healthy scratch. The 6'6" tight end that could be a red zone threat for Doney, rookie, was a healthy scratch. Our 3rd round pick, defensive tackle, Darius Alexander. We brought up we brought up a practice squad player. And he got more snap. He got the jersey before Darius Alexander got the jersey.
Your best tight end getting light work.
Well, see, my best tight end is Daniel Bellinger, not Theo Johnson.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. And he got light work.
Yeah. And then guess what? The one time he's targeted, just like every other time he's actually targeted, he made the catch. And that's been my argument since he got here. The man got a 90% catch rate. Like, all he does is move the chains whenever he is targeted. I don't understand how he ended up in the doghouse. Theo Johnson got brick hands right now. And I understand why they did it. I understand why they did it. Like I said, Theo Johnson's athletic ability, if he works out, he can beat something. But he ain't working out right now for me. But we'll see what happens. They don't give up on their draft picks, except for the ones that they don't like Bellinger, too soon. So we're gonna leave week 1 in the past. We're gonna talk about this matchup a little bit, right?
Wait. No, wait, because I have a question for you for week 1. I have a question for you week 1.
Okay.
No.
I
ain't look. I don't believe in more victories. So let me be very clear for everybody in the building, because Cowboys Nation is kind of riled up. We played them so good and all that. I don't care. Look, moral victories are like coleslaw. Throw them in the trash. I do not care. I'm gonna tell you right now. I do not care about moral victories.
Okay.
Great, we looked great and we lost games. Guess what? Sounds like the playoffs to me. We found a way to lose a game in the playoffs, so I don't care about that. But I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Was that because here's what I think I've come to know this week as I really locked into y'all to get ready for the show. Yeah, I think Brian does not care at all. He wants to get his guy out there, okay? And I'm talking about Jackson Dart. Do you think that offensive play calling?
Oh, did I lose you for a second? I might have lost you. Did we lose? I think we lost you for a second. Nix, if you hear me, go ahead and jump out and jump back in. I'm gonna take you off the screen for a second. I think I know where he was going. I think I know where he was going. So, talking about Russell Wilson, talking about Brian Daboll being a Jackson Dart guy. I think, and again, once he's back on, I'm pretty sure he's going to say this. The play calling of Mike Kafka with Russell Wilson, is that play calling going to be the same for Oh, there he is. He's back now. Hold on. I'm gonna let him finish his question. I got you back now.
That was weird. I do not know what happened there.
Okay,
yeah, I'm
no
like,
problem.
Was that game plan and play calling more for Russ or was that more for Dart?
That was definitely a Russell Wilson style offense for him.
Okay,
that one play where they did some of the quick screens is more of Dart's game out there, but we saw it in the preseason. They called the plays or they called the game way different when Jackson Dart. You see more RPO, more shotgun, not that much under the center. Also, getting the ball out quick, which I think we need to do that regardless. But Kafka, man,
look,
I think
a head coach. Look, I'm just saying. And I'll shut up and let you go. I just think if a head coach is getting pushback about who he wants to play, there's ways to accomplish that as a head coach to get your guy on the field. Look, and I could be reaching. I'm not tied into y'all. I'm just outsider looking in and looking for clarity, good sir.
So are you saying that calling plays that that quarterback might not be good at?
Yes.
Like running some routes that are in the center of the field that your quarterbacks know not to target. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Without those natural throwing lanes for Russ being a 5'10" quarterback, it is what it is. And then again, we left some plays on the field where some guys got open that maybe you could have got touchdowns on the
board. Slayton wide open.
Slayton down the right side of the field.
You know what? Why y'all hate Slayton? Let me shut up. Y'all go ahead.
It's not me. Listen, I'll say this because again, I've been a fan of Slayton because my whole deal was look who he played with all that time and look at the numbers that he put up early in his career. 50 catches, 700 plus yards. To me, it makes sense that if he can get 65, 70 catches, he could probably crack 1,000 yards. That was my main push for this year. Can he, at least for this year, for 2025, be that wide receiver 2 that the New York Giants have been waiting for? A lot of people say no within the fan base. Some people say we'll wait and see. And some people say, hell no, he's not that guy. I mean, ideally, he's probably better at a wide receiver 3. I will admit that. I will admit that. But I know there's another level to his game that we have not seen yet because of the quarterback play
opportunities.
So
back to the main point. Yeah, I just felt like that the way they were doing that play cons, like, look, y'all gonna let me play my guy. I'm gonna show you I need to play my guy. I'll get over I'll get Dart over the hump one way or another. You want me to sacrifice 2 games, and so be it. I'm willing to do it. I'll die on this hill. Y'all fire me either way unless I go out with Dart. So what am I going to do? That's just how I looked at it. I could be completely wrong. I'm just saying that's outside looking in.
I think it's risky too because again I think he is on the hot seat, and no matter what happens, he got to win some games. It ain't just about Dart getting in here and then even if he looks promising, he's still got to win some games. It's about it. We can't leave this season or end this season without at least 6 wins. At least 6. I don't know where them 6 are coming from right now, but and it's crazy too, man. Because if you asked me a week ago, I'm like 7 to 10. 10 being on the high side. Before preseason, it was 6 to 9 wins. That's where I was at, and now I'm sitting here like where are these 6 wins coming from? Where are they coming from? Are we going to be able to surprise? But I don't know. It can't look as bad as it did.
Look, this is why I tell people all the time, and I love it. I love from once the draft ends all the way to week 1. I call it the honeymoon season. The honeymoon season because you have all the hopes, the wishes in the world. You ain't being punched in the mouth. But once week 1 comes, that's when you get married, you go on the honeymoon, right? After you married, you go on the honeymoon, everything's great. Then it gets to real life when you get back from the honeymoon. And maybe things change and shift a little bit. Just like football fans. We have the honeymoon season. And that's not just y'all, it's everybody. It's everybody, every single team. It's honeymoon season. Even the dadgum Saints had a honeymoon season. No disrespect down there at the Saints. Or Miami even, all right? Or Miami even. But yeah, once the week 1 comes, reality sets in, and you got to figure it out.
It was a cold towel. That's what it was. It was a cold towel. That's what a cold towel. Wet blanket.
27 on their head. Y'all was going to jump 27 on their head is what I heard.
I thought it was possible. I had my prediction was 24-17. That's what my prediction was prior to the game. And the crazy thing about it is, as bad as a lot of people say the defense was, which it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. We let a lot of things happen.
Right. Yeah, they 21 though.
Yeah, well, it was 14 all the way into like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I think
if you go 21, you should win. Right. That's just the league.
Right. It should be that easy, right? Not for the Giants. You see, but like I said, you watched all 22. Why do we make things seem so hard, so difficult?
Well, look, number one, before I say this, let me give Caleb a shout out and some other Washington fans real good said they should have ran it up over 30. They shot themselves in the foot for what it's worth. So y'all can take it up with them. But on the backside, I think ultimately, look, I did not.
Wait. They're saying, wait. They said the Commanders should have put up 30. That's what they said.
Yeah, they said it wasn't really about y'all, it was about them, and not scoring as much
because of some drops. Okay.
Yeah,
I hear you.
But hey, it is what it is. You put up 21. I could say the Cowboys should have put up 34 on the Eagles. You know what we scored? 20. So I mean, if it was a fifth, we all be drunk. But I think for y'all, for me, even though y'all gave up 21 points defensively, question marks from that defensive coordinator for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I don't know. Like Chauncey Golston playing the wide 9. Okay, that's crazy talk. I think Dexter Lawrence and 3-tech, 4-tech stuff. Was not really over here. I thought that was kind of weird. How y'all deployed the young man that y'all just drafted was kind of indifferent. McFadden goes down. Why not use him more even in that realm? So playing man, but 5-7 yards off, I thought was some things there. But offensively, y'all are allergic to slants, apparently. I think y'all ran 2. When I did the all 20, I think y'all ran 2 slants the entire game. All right. That's weird.
One was the Malik. One was the Malik.
Yeah, right. I think too. Obviously in the passing protection, your interior offensive line, wow. I didn't know Kinlaw was that good. Holy cow. In that realm. But also, in what I watch your running game, because I've told you before, we've talked about this before, I like Tracy. Look, I like Tracy so much, I have him on my fantasy team. Like, I like Tracy. I liked him coming out of the draft. And damn, they got Tracy. I really like him. However, your run scheme looks very much like ours with McCarthy. We're just going to run the ball to say we ran the ball. And look, you look at the end of the game, hey, we have run attempts. What do you mean? We tried to run it. We tried to run it.
The only time we actually got any kind of positive yards was like running outside.
But y'all kept running it inside. I'm like, no, keep attacking them outside.
That's the problem. That's the problem right now. Again, everybody else makes adjustments. Every other coach, I probably got through half of the games, off of NFL Plus. That I watch other teams play, of course, just to see what real football looks like. The way I'm feeling right now, that's how I feel. And everybody makes adjustments. Just like after that second drive that we had on the Commanders made adjustments on defense, and a lot of the stuff that was working in that second drive wasn't working anymore. They stepped up a little bit. They stopped that quick game. Then next thing you know, we're trying to run the play action. But in order to run the play action, you got to do what? Be able to run the ball successfully first. They didn't respect nothing that we was trying to do. We ran a lot of motion while they were in zone. We see Malik Nabers going back and forth. Nobody's reacting to it. You know, and they're sitting on everything because we didn't make the whole field a threat. And that's the whole thing of going back to 2024, 2023. Daniel Jones never challenged the whole field. We thought with Russell Wilson and the moonballs, we would be challenging, if not the intermediate, because we know that's a weakness for them, not the seams, because we know that's a weakness, outside of that, and some of those deep shots. We only had one pass over 20 yards in the whole game, one attempt. That's it. You can't be an explosive offense doing things like that, man. And again, anything you say that you saw with this, everybody's scratching their heads. When it comes to the defense, and you touched on it really quickly, Dexter Lawrence, the defensive alignment, Dexter Lawrence lining up at 3 technique, sometimes 4-eye. We haven't seen that since Patrick Graham. It didn't work. And some people will say, oh, we just did that so we can give some looks for Abdul Carter, up in the A-gap. Well, no, every time Carter wasn't there in the A-gap. There was Bobby Okereke was there. We did see Carter a little bit too, but Carter didn't get enough snaps in the back. Well, in defense of that.
And then Burns was eating, and then you had to rest Burns.
Well, Burns been dealing with he's been dealing with injuries all summer long.
Okay.
He's the type that he'll play through injuries, because you'll see that one scramble from Jayden Daniels. It looked like he pulled up a little bit, like he stopped chasing.
Got you.
Yeah, ankle, calf, stuff like that. But he's always been tough enough to play through him, so he's never going to tell you what's going on. But when I talk about Carter and the way that they played Carter, I want to say, oh, well, just make him the starter. Tibbs actually played pretty well. He was getting into the backfield outside of the one time where he got too far upfield. And Jayden Daniels, he created that natural lane for Jayden Daniels. I think that Tibbs had a pretty good game too.
Okay,
so now
I'm glad you said that, because I was fighting with people. Man, I look, and I agree with you. I'm glad you said that, because I'm like, I thought Tibbs was pretty good. I don't understand the hate on Tibbs. I'm like, I thought he walked through the door pretty well. He crashed out a little bit. You're not wrong there. I remember that play. But I'm like, bro, I thought Tibbs had I don't want to say great game, but I thought it was a really good game from Tibbs.
Yeah, it was good. It was solid. And again, but when you're dealing with Jayden Daniels, things look different. Lanes turn into lanes that shouldn't even be lanes when it's Jayden Daniels.
Right.
That's why I say, moving on to this week, Dak, even though Dak is mobile, he can extend plays. He's not the same threat as Jayden Daniels. Just like behind
the line, not going forward. Facts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Dak can make all the moves inside the pocket. Like, he has good pocket presence and stuff like that. He still has the intelligence. He still, again, he looked very, very sharp to me, and I didn't expect that week 1 from him coming off of that hamstring injury. But again, he did.
I mean, not a lot of football, didn't play preseason, maybe a little rust, and he came right out. To your point, I'm with you there. That was a worry on this side. To be clear, maybe a lot of Cowboys didn't want to say that, but there was definitely worry about some rust because of how much time he missed, and he lit it up. Sure,
it's a serious injury too, man. They came off the bone. But maybe he got a little bit of extra oomph because of the Jalin Carter incident prior to the first snap.
It was juice. And let's be clear about hold on. And let's be clear about the Spitgate. Okay, let me set the record straight real quick. Okay, let me set the record straight. So Jalin Carter's on our side. Look, the ball is here. Right, here's the line of scrimmage. Here's the ball. Here's his defense is on this side. He's way over here. But here's what he was doing. He was barking at our rookie right guard in Booker and talking and trying to rile it up and talk a little shit. Excuse my language. And then Dak's like, no, fella, you're not going to do that. So everybody uses where Dak spit cam, but whenever Dak spit, they're like 5 yards apart. It's not even close. And then they come close. And then the Spitgate. What I will say is, I'm not a proponent of people getting ejected, but if you spit on me, dog, it is what it is. But I also like the NFL game check only and not another extra game. And I do agree there. It should have been an extra game. He didn't get a snap.
I thought he was going to miss games. I thought because of the competition committee and how they're feeling about excessive celebrating. I thought they're going to try to make an example out of him. Luckily for them. Yeah.
You know what I thought was egregious in the game too, real quick, after Nolan Smith did the play, they charged him up for a celebration penalty. I'm like,
when he stood over.
I was like,
that was weak. That's messy.
I was like, that was super weak. I was like, is this what we doing this year in the NFL? Come on, man.
What's the Players Association guy that heads that now? He's a former player. Yeah,
Troy
he's a former. he's a former player. So this
Yeah.
has no place in the game. Like, come on, man. You came from an era that was
Yeah.
way worse. But
Yeah, come on.
the
But I
politics of that
digress.
is crazy. But getting back to the defense again, with
Sure.
just the uses of Abdul Carter, and again when Micah McFadden went down, why didn't we use Carter more off ball?
That's where I was at, bro. That's why I didn't understand. I'm like, that's his
And
natural position, anyways.
I've come to the conclusion that the New York Giants offense, defense, special team, maybe not special teams, except for our punter was trash too. They rather be right than win. They rather keep doing or making the same decisions, sticking to whatever that game plan was, rather than make the adjustments and really try to win the game. I don't have any other excuse for it. Like, you didn't make any adjustments. I thought at least at halftime they would make the adjustments, but they didn't. And like, again, we came back out of halftime. Again, we did stop them. We forced 5 punts. We gave the offense the ball back, and no complimentary football at the end of the day for that game. And I'm hoping.
That's a great word. That's a great word. Complimentary football. People, no. Hey, Dash. That's what we rock. You said the perfect term there. No complimentary football. Let me say it one more time.
Yeah.
Complimentary football. If you don't understand that, what your defense is doing there, you have to get something. And 17 to 30, so whatever. Look, you had to understand coming out of half, we can maybe run on these edges over here, but we can't run in the middle. And they just consistently did the same things. You got to play complimentary football to what this team is giving you. And look, to me, I think the defense just got wore out there. That's why they got the last touchdown. And that's why I'm telling on my side of things, I'm like, look, don't think it's sweet. I don't like certain things they did defensively, but I understand certain things they're doing defensively. I said, look, if we don't run the ball well on the first couple of downs, the way that they're playing man and sitting back 5-7 yards, if we're in 3rd and 6 or longer, it's a problem for us because of how they're playing their man defense. And to me, I think if I can do a little a smidge key before we get there, I think if they're going to play that 5-7 yards off, that screams to me, hey, we need to throw it on early downs and run it on the 2nd and 3rds. We need a pick and slant early against that defense. Don't sit here and try to run against them early and get to 3rd down, let things happen because of how they're doing the coverage. If they come in that way this week, go right ahead so you get to that.
Now, yeah. So shout out to my man Tyrone Hall with the $5 super chat. Says the coaching was horrible on both sides of the ball. Coaches need to apologize to the players. Shout out to you, Tyrone Hall. Yeah. Listen, a lot of us, it's like this Dallas game. It makes no sense to have a must-win game the second week of the season, but that's how a lot of Giants fans
feel. We're both here, though. Hey, but we're both here, bro. We're both here. I said it already. I've already said. I'm like, dude, like every game's a must-win, right? Mm-hmm. But this is about the most of a must-win game for both teams right now that you'll ever see in week 2 because we're both 0-1 in the division. Starting 0-2 is one thing. Starting 0-2 in the division is a completely different set of circumstances. Yeah, this is a must-win for both teams, period. And that's why I think the intensity is going to be very high come Sunday. Yeah.
So it's a great segue, too, because now if we're ready, we're moving into this Dallas game, right? And talking about, not making adjustments. The Giants have a tendency to overreact and overcorrect. So the way that I'm thinking as far as, and this has nothing to do with, with the Dallas defense. This is just, them overcorrecting. I think this week we come out in 12 personnel and do try to run the ball to the edges. I think because, again, we're not making any changes in the interior. JMS is JMS. Runyon is Runyon. Greg Van Roten is Greg Van Roten. Will they put, I should say, will Evan Neal get a jersey this week because he might be a little bit better in the run in the running game because he can get a little bit of a push. Maybe that happens. I don't know for sure, but I think they have a tendency to overcorrect, and I think we go 12 personnel and try to go to the quick game against you guys. Now,
do you think your tackle's going to play, or is the Liz Frank going to hold him out?
It doesn't look good. It doesn't. He didn't practice today. It was planned, part of the plan. They plan on him practicing tomorrow and Friday. And then we got the walkthroughs, while we're traveling on.
You do know about Bland on our side, right? Or no?
Oh no, is he hurt?
Yeah, Bland got hurt on Monday. So let me. I guess maybe I'm breaking news for a lot of Giants fans here. Deron Bland got hurt. Yeah, Deron Bland got hurt on Monday practice. He's in a boot today. He's not playing on Sunday.
Oh wow! So that's your slot too, man. Okay.
Right.
I would
Oh,
say
look at y'all! Look at you smile! Look at you smile! You nasty guy! You look at you.
Listen, I would say no because I started thinking about it. I started thinking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, that would be great if we played Malik Nabers more in the slot, which for some reason we tend to think that Wan'Dale Robinson is more than a gadget guy and play him in the slot. So we'll see what happens. Who's the backup slot for you guys?
So yeah, so we picked up a guy off of waivers and Steady and or I'm sorry, Reddy Stewart, excuse me, and Reddy Stewart,
Okay.
who has a total of 2 NFL starts in his career. He does have a little familiarity with Eberflus, and then of course we have the undrafted guy in Zion Childress from Kentucky, who had a really good preseason. Who's a La Prada squad? He's going to get called up either way. So,
Okay.
but I don't know who's going to get the call there right now. It might be more. It might be a little bit of big nickel for us, to be honest
Okay.
with you. Maybe we get some
Makes
Wanya,
sense.
some Bell in there. We'll right. We might see that again. To be clear, we did not play man one time against the Eagles, so I'm interested to see now with Bland out. Do they stick to that format of not playing man, or will they change it up now, particularly with the Bland out and where you're at with obviously Neighbors, and then what you got for the rest of the receiving core?
Yeah, man. Well, there's like again, they made an emphasis to try to get Wan'Dale Robinson the ball. Again, they quick outs. They had one where he was in the backfield lined up with wasn't really like it was like what do you call that route? Swing, just a little swing route out of the back. Yeah, it's a little swing route where he was able to get the first down. I think they're gonna keep on trying to do that. My main thing is this: we need some wholesale changes. A lot of people in the Giants fan base are out on Jalin Hyatt, right? And I thought that last week, if you because they didn't respect anything deep downfield, maybe you throw Hyatt out there because no matter even though he doesn't have the stats, he hasn't proven it in the NFL yet. Whenever he's on the field, teams respect him for some reason. Still, they play off, they shade him a little bit, and he hasn't really done anything. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm saying just give him five snaps and just let him run 9 routes and see what happens. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's probably that with the speed, right? Just to see.
And then when it comes to Malik Nabers, again, Malik Nabers needs to learn that you're the guy for the Giants, and everybody's going to be scheming for you not to get the ball. You're going to be frustrated a lot, but you got to handle it a little bit better than what he did. And I just think that again, I'm at a loss of words because I didn't see anything that I saw from preseason, really. Like I didn't see any adjustments that I should have saw from this defense. But again, I have to. Commanders are a Super Bowl contender. A lot of people like to use that excuse, but I'm saying even with that being said, we need to be able to look better because there were plays out there that could have been made and it didn't happen, whether it's Russ, whether it's offensive line. So for me, it's like I'm back to the drawing board. I still don't know what to expect to see against the Dallas Cowboys, except for possibly running this 12 personnel. But defensively, I don't have to worry about the spy. Because again, we were spying Jayden Daniels. Even though some people say we didn't spy that much, it was some hidden spies there. It just so happens they ran the ball. They ran the ball.
And we did. And on our side, we did that in the second half a little bit too, as well. People didn't think we spied Hurts. We actually hit the hidden term is the part there. Yeah,
the hidden spy.
So I saw that from y'all.
So I'm just sitting here like, okay, Cowboy week, rivalry week again. We always, well, not recently. I would say we play each other tough, but the way y'all been dropping 40 on us.
I mean, how many straight is it now? How many is it straight now for Dak against y'all? How many straight is it now, y'all? Oh, is it?
That's right, because when the last time we beat y'all, that's when he didn't play. His leg.
It was like 16 straight. Yeah, 16.
Yeah, as far as the games he played, we talking. When was he drafted? What year was he drafted?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, since then.
Yeah,
I think we might have beat y'all the first time he started, and I think that was it. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, and then you're done. All right.
He got one. It's crazy too. It's crazy. Trust me.
But not says one mic. One dub.
Yo, that's crazy.
Childress, he's in Texas real quick, and H-Town, Texas. And he might, I don't know if he's a Cowboys fan or a Giants fan.
In the comment section, you see him?
Yeah, he said Carter must play downhill every play, wreck the game, Parsons style. Man, look, I just will be honest for Giants fans, you can't put that on him. Look, you have to understand, Parsons was playing linebacker till we had a bunch of injuries, and then we moved him to edge, and then he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? and obviously turned into who he was. Like you can't like my personal opinion. I just don't think you can put that on Carter week 2. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that's the way. And McFadden's going to be gone for a while. Well, hello, off ball linebacker. You got a guy that can make plays for you. That's how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you look at it differently.
You're not wrong, because and the funny thing is, when we went into the draft, and again, I had my feelings at the draft. I was a big Shedeur Sanders fan. I was to the point where I wanted to take him at 3. Obviously, what happened. When it came to Carter, and I used to talk about Carter. I'm like, you know what? Because people was like, oh, we get Carter, we could trade Tibbs right away. I'm like, what we talking about? We don't trade Tibbs. Why get rid of talent, right? I said he can play off ball. Well, you don't draft a guy to play off ball linebacker at 3. I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, he's a defensive weapon, and I use the Cowboys as a reference. Micah Parsons is a defensive weapon. You move him around, and you use him. How the game calls it. And then I watched how Bowen did it. And it was just like no rhyme and reason for it. Like when you had him lined up over the A gap, but you didn't have him blitzing for what? When you had him lined up on the edge and you're getting pushed, it worked. So what are we playing around for? And then again, to your point, Micah McFadden gets hurt. They put Morris out when he got bricks for feet.
Bro, he's slow.
Get you a more athletic guy. We're working in the end zone. Tight ends kill us already. So when I get flashbacks, because for some reason the Cowboys always have tight ends. Shout
out to Jarwin, 3 tight games a few years ago.
Always got tight ends. So and I'm looking how the Commanders use Ertz, and I can't even. Is it Bateman? I forget whoever the other tight end name is. They're getting positive plays. I look at you guys. You guys got Ferguson. You got what's the kid from Minnesota that you guys got?
Spanford.
And then freaking Shoemaker or whatever his name is, Shoemaker. Yeah, right. I'm like, you guys use you guys use your tight ends. Something like that, right? Shooting something, right?
Yeah.
I think right. I think he's a Michigan kid too.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there like
Michigan kids over here.
Yeah, I do like
Taco, Mazi, Schoon, whatever. But Jordan Lewis was really my bad.
Yeah, I also like the name Tyler a lot too, man, because all the Tylers that you guys have.
Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker. Yeah, I mean.
But and the funny thing is, like, I'm gonna ask you a question about how do you see you guys defending the Giants? But I'm just saying right now, the way that we're playing on offense doesn't really even matter. But I still will ask you that question. Malik Nabers, obviously Tyrone Tracy being a threat, hopefully on the outside, maybe some outside zone stuff like that, some toss plays, stretch plays, stuff like that. Yeah. What do you see the plan with Eberflus?
Yeah, I think watching y'all, and then this is no disrespect to the Washington Commanders and their defense. However, I think we have better, which is crazy for me to say at this moment. It's been so long since I could say this. I think we have better defensive tackles than they have. And y'all can stop those guys. Yeah. I think that's very problematic when we talk about Kenny Clark and Osa Digizu and Solomon Thomas. And your interior offensive line was not it last week. No. So I think that's a problem for sure with a shorter quarterback in that realm. But I also think if you're trying to run the ball as they try to continuously up the middle, will be problematic as well, to be honest with you. Now, edge-wise, we did have some things in the first half that we were bad at. We kind of cleaned that up in the second half. And again, it goes back to Saquon's last 7 carries got a whole 1 yard, right? And so if you want to extend it to 8 carries, it was 8 for 11. So, I mean, we really limited that in the second half. And that's because our edges changed what they were doing and containing and what they were doing. So, again, y'all should attack us edge-wise because I don't think y'all can push it in the middle. But again, when you start talking about dropping back for passes, man, that's problematic for us. So I think not only just a quick game for y'all to an extent, right, which is hard against the zone, and then we played nothing but zone last week. But is it the screen? Y'all didn't use a lot of screen game last week.
We didn't at all.
And I think about the Tracy's. I even think about the Rondells, right? The Wandale Robinsons. Like, you might need to get more into the bag of the screen to attack us. But for us, I don't think in the second half we did have to start sending some cornerback blitzes out of the slot a little bit. Like, we actually blitzed Diggs for the first time in his career. Think about that for a second. For the first time ever, and he got home, right? And Bland got home. Now Bland won't play this week, neither here nor there. But we're down a guy at cornerback. I understand what your offensive line is. I think it's got to be quick, and some of those things in the screen game that y'all didn't use last week to help 17-37. We kind of looked at it, and against a zone, depending on the look, you got some tape now.
Yeah.
How can you work and operate some of those quick drags, those quick slants? Can you get to some of that? But for us, I think our defensive tackles are going to absolutely be a problem for y'all after watching y'all last week.
Yeah, and I know you said last week you didn't play man at all, right?
No one rep, no man once.
And then
so when it comes to Malik Nabers, how easy it's to kind of bracket and do things if you're doing zone, right?
Yeah,
in that realm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking, depending on how far off you, because you hope that Russ can be a little bit quicker with the ball this time, and then depending on how far your corners play off, you might be able to work the slant. But it depends on the linebackers, how the linebackers are playing too.
Yeah. And our linebackers were not great last week. Let me be very clear. They were not great. Look, better in the second half. Better. Yeah, it was Murray. It was a lot of Murray and a lot of Sanborn. Let me be clear. If Sanborn can't see it, he ain't fast enough to get there, number one. And I told you, like, Cowboys Nation was so hyped. Bro, Cowboys Nation was so hyped about Sanborn throughout the training camp. And when we got him, like, okay. I didn't. Yeah. I'm like, he knows the scheme. He can help us out. I didn't see it that way. And also, too, not only just whenever he's got to take on the block, he kind of LVEs it. I'm trying to dip under. I'm not trying to take it on. Now, Murray, on the other hand, he'll take the block on. But
Murray got some dog for sure.
Yeah, he was a little slow to trigger week one. He didn't play no preseason. He missed a lot of camp. People forgot he had a kid. He missed a lot of camp. So I'm not as worried about Murray as I am Sanborn. And Maurice Leofold only getting 6 snaps last week. I was like, what are we talking about here?
I'm trying to remember now for the preseason. Did your starters play a lot preseason? I know Dak didn't play.
We had different moments where guys got opportunities, but never a full complete unit anywhere. Just little moments here. And that was good.
You guys, like I said, for that offense, the guys didn't look rusty at all. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, and again, we didn't see Jalen Carter. I'm gonna get to my man. Shout out to my man Mark Stewart, man, with the 5-month membership. Salute to you. Thank you. And he said he got a hat today. Which hat did you pick up? Hopefully you picked up this hat. Make the Giants great again. Because we try and make the Giants great again.
Or you just come over here, get one of these guys. Let's see this little camouflage. We just come over here. We got you. No, okay, my bad. I can't recruit. I ain't gonna recruit.
And shout out to my man Tudo. Tudo, what's going on, Tudo? With the $4.99 super chat, he says much love and respects to our guy Big Dash, who's all about the Giants and all diehard Giant fans in the building. Greetings from our rugby team in Italy. Cheers, Dash. Shout out to Tudo. Yeah, he's a rugby player out there putting in work, man. He's a great Giant supporter too, man. Day one, he's in everybody's chat, everybody's stream, showing love and support. Shout out to my man too.
If he plays rugby, he's about that action. I like
that.
And
that's actually him in the picture too. He's the man built like granite. But what was I?
John's trying to get you over here to help him out. Hey man, maybe the John's here to get you. Them rugby players kind of go off. You might need to go over here and get a tryout and do something.
We need to go down to Fiji and get some of the Fijian guys out there. Shout out to my man Tudo though. What was I? I was talking about the defense. Okay, yeah. So for you guys, like I said, playing against us on our offense, you did say you guys ran a lot of zone this week. It might not be the same because of some guys being out.
And another key alert: limited was our starting safety today. Hooker also foot injury Monday. So I think he's anticipated. Practice. We talking about practice? But it happens. So definitely Bland, nothing. Bland's definitely not playing. I do think Hooker's going to play, but we'll see. Just so we update that.
Yeah, and then now if I switch it, I'll talk about my defense. We'll talk about your offense. Again, Dex needs to be 0 tech. 1 tech. But
say less.
But
choir, brother.
I mean, that should happen. It shouldn't be any issue with that. Because we have and I'm trying to think now. Was Javonte Williams had a couple carries for about half 100, about 50-something yards, and then Miles
15 for around 50, 44, 50, and 2 tutties.
Yeah, and again, I remember the Miles Sanders play because it was a big play. Prior to the fumble too, and like I said, didn't he get a touchdown too? No, he ran it all the way almost down to the goal line.
Ran down there, and then the next carry was a fumble.
That's right. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Stab me in the side, guys.
And it's crazy too because I know he wanted it was coming. Yeah, I know he wanted it bad. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get back to, Giants football where we can actually get pressure with the front four, depending on what it actually looks like. We picked up Roy Robinson Harris, right? As a defensive tackle. We thought he, like, in the preseason, he had made some plays, some tackles for losses, getting pressure on the quarterback. But we didn't see that week one. Dexter Lawrence, I will say this about Dexter Lawrence. He did not look like Dexter Lawrence last week, really. Outside of playing out of position when he was lined up as a zero tech, he hasn't played any preseason. He was
I heard
coming
he's
off
not
of
in
an
shape, and I just saw somebody throw it in here.
yeah.
I heard this before. Why is he not in
Yeah.
shape? Explain that to me.
Well, he was coming off an injury. He had well, it's not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it was an elbow injury. He had it was an elbow injury, but limited practice. Didn't play in the preseason. No, he's not in game shape yet.
So he's working. Okay.
Yeah, it might take him a while to get into game shape too. He's taking natural days off. He actually just had a child today. First birth of his first child today, and because we thought the funny thing is right before the game, we got the news saying that his wife can have the baby any minute, and we sitting there like, man, hopefully either that baby comes Saturday night or Monday, Tuesday, something like that. And ended up the baby came today, so congratulations to Dexter Lawrence. Now we can focus back on football. So I'm still waiting on it. I don't know if he's going to be in shape for you guys, but I do hope that it's a better showing for him. And again, like our defense.
I hope not.
Yeah, well, for you, I understand.
I understand. That guy's a hoss. I'm like, bro, that dude's, oh my God, such tremendous.
He's a problem. Well, I'm trying to remember now. BB is your center, the guy y'all picked up. How did he look? I can't remember now. How did he look against Philly?
Fantastic.
You said not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Fantastic.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Because I know y'all changed his position as soon as y'all drafted.
Yeah, which is funny, like a little side story. So I rock with his pops real quick. And the funny thing, when he got drafted, so we have Connor Raleigh now, who was his coach, his offensive line coach at K-State. He's our offensive line coach now. And the funny part, whenever he got drafted that night, he called up BB's dad, said, of course he gets drafted for the one position that I didn't coach him at K-State, because he played all four. Left guard, right, left tackle, right tackle, but never center. But now he's here. Now he gets to coach him at center. But he never snapped the ball. And there were some moments last year. Look, the snaps were getting through, doing well. And in the run game, he was getting off. Like, no. For the first time in a long time for us, and we've been trying to look, first round draft pick offensive linemen have been great for us. It's those after the first round that we try to find and we can't never land. I think the Cowboys Nation, we finally got one that we drafted in the third round. It's going to be a 10-year starter for us, which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are way lucky.
H-Town, Texas, man. Look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. This game is going to be Cowgirls trap game. Look, I ain't tripping on the trap game because I'm not. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, the trap game because I do kind of buy that a little bit. However, man, y'all got to do better than the Cowgirls, brother. I'm 47. I've been hearing Cowgirls for 30 years. Y'all got to do better.
It's not. Listen. For Giants fans,
that's like saying the New Jersey Giants. It's like saying the G-Nats. I mean, what are we doing?
Call them the Giants. Sometimes they do that.
Yeah, like, come on.
I mean, that's the fan base. Nah, that's the fan base. Nah, you cool, man.
Nah, it's cool.
So yeah, man. For me, I wish week one would have been a little bit different because I would have had a lot more energy going into this week too.
But you should feel good about your defense, though, Dash. Like you should. I'm worried. Look, let me tell you right now, I'm worried. Look, I saw enough on the 22 say I don't like some of the things and alignments and things that we talked about throughout this show, even because I agree with everything we talked about. However, it's still just 21 points against the offense we think that's pretty explosive for the most part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I am on my side, from my side of the fence. Yeah, look. I'm going to keep it a beam with y'all. I'm not worried about y'all's offense. I'm not. I'm really not. Like, I don't think Nabers is great. I think your head coach doesn't want the quarterback. I don't think your run scheme was great, and I don't think your offensive line can do much.
That's conspiracy theory.
That's not conspiracy theory. However, defensively, and I knew this before week one, I was like, their front seven can do things. And I know you're not really happy about the defensive coordinator right now.
Yeah.
He only gave up 21 points. And to your point, the last tutty came with how many minutes left? 4 minutes left in the game, right? And shit, they were probably gassed because the offense couldn't sustain drives. Complimentary football you talked about earlier. So even as much as they moved those guys around or whatever, they only gave up basically 14 points through the most of the game. You know what I mean? So we only scored 20. You heard? We only scored 20. And we dropped a lot of passes, this and the third. Look, I don't think our run game is elite. I think our run scheme is much better than y'all's. Be very clear. I do think that. But if we're talking about Miles Sanders running the rock, I don't know how that looks. Because he had one big carry. Cool. You can go adopt his other carries, wide open spaces for 5+ yards, and said, I'm just going to run it outside for 2 yards. I do not care. His vision is not good. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. So,
that's how he ended up.
Yeah, I like our weapons where we are. Like, I like our weapons and where we're at currently, outside. But I'm going to tell you right now, look, 3 and 88 didn't really give you much whenever the ball was being handed off and blocking downfield. And that's not good. That's not what they're looking for. And there was opportunities for plays for Javonte Williams that would have gone further if they would have got in their lanes and did certain things. So there's things for us to clean up on this side.
Pickens blocked pretty well at Pittsburgh.
That's what I heard. Hey, brother, that's what I heard. Hey, look, go watch the all 22 in just the run plays, and you be like, oh, what is this?
I mean, also, like I said, he gets in his head a lot. Well, and CeeDee Lamb, he does what he does, and sometimes he doesn't do what he doesn't do. And
Juice World. Yeah, that's what I call him. Juice World.
That's what you call him, Juice World. So,
he be dressed that way, whatever.
So for me, like I said, you said, not worried about the offense at all. I don't even blame you for that. Right? Again, we didn't put anything on tape to make anybody worry. Now, when it comes to our defense, to your point, yes, we only allowed 21 points, 14 points for real up until the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. So we gave 5 punts. We gave the offense chances to score points, and who knows if we score a couple of points, maybe the tempo of that game changes. If the Redskins, not the Redskins, I'm sorry, I apologize, Commanders,
Commanders, Washington, whatever they're calling it.
If they felt a little bit of pressure and had to adjust to what they were doing, but we didn't make them adjust at all. Now this week, this defense, obviously we already know Micah McFadden is not going to be available. I would think that they would go big nickel, possibly go 3 safeties or something like that. I don't think they're going to do that with you guys because, again, what they're trying to do is get that pressure with 4 and hopefully at the back end play zone.
You think they go Carter? Do you think they go Carter off ball linebacker more this week, or
I would. Me personally, I think I would, but I would also send him in the A gap blitz. Try to get him because if you're not using him to get pressure on the quarterback, what are we really doing? Now, if you want to use him as an off ball linebacker out of necessity, you can still do that, but I don't want to focus on that too much. Here's my deal. He can take Micah McFadden's spot as far as 11 guys on defense, but you don't play him like Micah McFadden. That's my whole deal.
Okay.
Move him around. If you want to get cute, play around with Tibbs a little bit. Maybe move him inside as more of a 3 technique. But you brought up something also, and I was pissed off about it too because we picked up Chauncey Golston. I saw what Chauncey Golston did in your scheme.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a role right now for the New York Giants in this Bowen system.
You can't play him at non-tech, brother. Look. You look like 3 tech.
Yeah,
to
that's what I thought
tech,
it was going to be.
To 6 tech. That non-tech stuff though, that's not his game.
The part that pissed me off is this, right? So when we picked him up, we labeled him an edge rusher. Put him in the edge rush room, right? I'm like, no, he can play the 3 tech, even though he's not as heavy as some of those other guys. He still is used to playing in a little bit, closer to the ball. So all summer long, he's an edge. Then when we get down to the 53, all of a sudden now he's in the defensive line room. Like, what are we doing here? And that part pisses me off because now you see him being misused along with other players getting misused, and that's where all the confidence goes for me. I'm looking at Shane Bowen like, listen, I never coached a day in my life. I played football. I never coached a day in my life. But even I know you're doing something wrong.
Right.
I know you're doing something wrong. you're not playing to the strengths of your roster of your guys.
Yeah, like
He got
5
to go
sec
to the drawing
before
board.
you get to 7 sec is where he thrives, and he can give you 3 tech work for
Yeah.
sure. But that wide outside, that's just not his game. That's why I was really confused about why they use him in that lane.
Like you can use Burns like that. That's Burns'
that
game.
part. Yep, facts.
You know,
Facts.
and then
Preaching, bro. You're preaching there.
Tibbs. I don't like him that far out either.
No,
but
he can do. But he's a better option than Chauncey. He's a better option than Ghost.
But then also when you do that too, though, you go small. Dex is not on the field, and then you do that also with Dex not being. I got issues with the defensive coordinator, and again, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna let this game happen, and then if I need to really go off, it's not like the Giants are gonna listen to me anyway. But if I need to vent like I normally vent and stuff like I vent last week,
we do.
I'm going to vent and talk about it. But for me right now, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to relax a little bit, and I'm going to say, okay, let's see how this game goes before I really hit that.
Well, let me ask you this. How do the Giants walk into AT&T Stadium at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Texas time, and beat the Cowboys?
All right, so I'll say this: it's Dak is, I would say, some people say, oh, get pressure on Dak, blitz Dak. Dak is actually pretty good against the blitz. He's been, good against the blitz. What I think needs to happen is with the wide receivers that you guys have, the targets that you guys have on the outside, we can't afford to send a lot of corner blitzes. We can't afford this. Maybe we can sneak a safety blitz in here and there, but we got to get creative on the pressure. But first of all, the front four got to win the one-on-one matchups, because Dex is going to draw a double team. Sometimes he might draw a triple team. I need Tibbs to win. I need Burns to win like he did last week. He won last week, and I need Carter to be used. Pressure up the A gap, pressure off the edge. We can't sit back and play the whole. We're going to contain, keep him in the pocket, because Dak is going to eat us alive or skin us out there. He's going to pick us apart. So I'm curious to see how they do it. But for me, I think getting pressure with the front four, if we can do that, that'd probably be the best thing for us. Being able to stop the run is another thing. Hopefully, Dex is more in shape this week than last week. But we got to get something out of this rotation. The guys like the Roy Robinson Harrises, the Nachos, the DJ Davidsons, because last week it seems like they weren't rotating because guys were tired. They were rotating just to be rotating, just to give out different looks, just to try to see if they can confuse the Commanders. No, let's not try to do that. Let's get back to fundamental football. You got your 4 horses. Go ahead and use your 4 horses, and then after that, we'll see what happens. But I think the zone will be a little bit better with you guys if we can get that pressure. If not, again, I think you guys use the tight ends because we got issues with tight ends.
Y'all played a lot of man last week, right?
Yeah, we actually did, and that's the funny thing too, because he's known for playing zone defense in the back, and he played a lot of man. And again, when you got an athletic quarterback, once you get those linebackers to turn,
right, it's over.
It's over. It's over. So that's.
What about offensively? That's defensively. What about offensively? Yeah, you give me that. I hear that defense. I need that. Offensively, he said, and look to the stars. Offensively, how do you beat us? You got to score points.
I'm gonna say the same. It's the same thing every week. We got to make a conscious effort to establish the run. If it's going to be Russell Wilson, we got to be able to establish the run, because Russ is an under center, play action, stretch the ball downfield type of person. But if we can't get this run game going, Russ is nullified, in my opinion. He's nullified, in my opinion. So we got to make a conscious effort to get the ball. To run the ball. Don't try the inside. It did not work against the Commanders. It is not going to work against Kenny Clark and Odigizua. So stretch plays, maybe a couple tosses, get the ball out quick, but also please, Russ, attack the seams. If you guys are going to play zone again, we need to try to find that soft spot for the tight end. Get him involved early. I would love to see, I know you mentioned the running back screen. I would love to see a tight end screen also.
Okay.
I think that's something that might be available.
Get a little easier catch. He's athletic, right? I got you, get him in space. I feel that.
Yep.
I feel that. I think one thing's for certain going to this game is I'm buying my offensive line better than the Washington offensive line currently. I am buying that. I think that's very interesting in that stand front there, right? You got to win the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But great game for Guyton coming off of not playing anything when it comes to training camp or preseason because of the injury.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all's edges are better. Here's the thing: I think our offensive line is better than theirs, but I think your edges are better than theirs. So there's a conundrum there. And still, who looks really good in this scheme, particularly in the run game, he'll still give you some candy in the pass protection when it comes to Seal, right? That's just kind of what he is and who he is. So I think for us and how if y'all approach this game with the man coverage and it's off 5 to 7 yards, as we try to run the ball earlier in that game against the Eagles, I think for us it behooves us to throw the ball earlier against y'all, right, and where it is to kind of open that thing up a little bit and see how y'all adjust and how that works. I think that's going to be the same deck he was last week. He looks good to go. Defensively, yeah, I mean, obviously not the same amount of weapons, to be fair, as Philly. Not the same amount of weapons. And we held A.J. Brown to 1 catch. We held
Smith. Talking about Smith?
My God. Yes, Smith.
Yeah, the only guy that got a pass on you guys was what? Dotson. Yeah. Dotson had a couple.
And that was actually great coverage. Look, Hurts threw a perfect ball. Like Hurts couldn't have walked it down there and placed it better than where you put it. Salute to him. I mean, it was a great pass.
30-yard handoff, 40-yard handoff.
I mean, basically, I was like, God bless, man. But we don't have to worry about the leg capability as much. I think Russ can still do things, but he's not Jalen Hurts at this point in his career. So there's some of that. And as much as I like your running back, your run scheme, I mean, pardon my French, that run scheme was dog shit last week. And that's probably a lot of because your offensive line. But to your point, you got to try to attack the edges because if you're going up the middle, it's a problem. So for us to win, I think our tackles need to be who they are, defensive tackles, and get that pressure and do what they do to throw things off, number one. And then number two, I think we need to throw the ball a little bit early to get y'all a little on your heels and then hit y'all with the run game. I think right now Vegas has this game. I think we're 5.5 or 6. I'm not sure. I think it's 5.5 or 6.
It might be now. It might be now.
Yeah. It might have went down because of Bland because I haven't looked since Bland got hurt.
Yeah, I got to check that too.
Yeah, I didn't like the 8.5 in Philly, and I said, look, if you're a betting man, I'd smash Dallas plus 8.5. Both teams are going to come in here. Their seasons, to a certain extent, are very much on the 5.5 is what Danny Boy just said. Okay, 5.5. Okay. I'm not sure if I feel very comfortable at 5.5 for the Cowboys because you get a 3, they'll give us a plus if you're at home plus a 2.5, right? But both teams are going to come in like right now, no matter the overlook and how the fans look at it, in-house, hey, we got to get this up. It's going to be high intensity. I think it's going to be very chippy. Yeah. I think it should be not just off the NFC East battles because, hey, neither team wants to go 0-2 in the division. Yeah. But I think if I watch going through both the tape of both games, I think we were way more physical than y'all were. And that's a surprising thing on my front. Now, I know what our new coach, Schottenheimer, is talking about. We got to be more physical and do things. But y'all know the history about us. We ain't been really that physical. We were physical in Philly. And we didn't back down.
That's the part that flashed for me because, again, from the first play on defense, you guys were physical. And I think, like I said, I think Kenny Clark had one of those plays early in the game, and it kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. And I thought you guys played really well. Yeah. Really well. Yeah, I do want to say this one point. Go ahead. My guy Dad's Life said, and this is one of those things that we saw today, Dex Burns, Tibbs, and Carter only played eight plays together on defense. As far as
let's run that back. Let's run that back this week. Thanks. Dad's Life, let's run that back this week. You know what? Actually, that was too much. Let's make it 5. Thanks.
Let's make Shane Bowen made a lot of people sick, man. Shane Bowen, when you look at like you said, you saw the all 22, you're scratching your head sometimes. You're scratching your head like, what are you doing? What are these alignments? And when and you create natural lanes. Like I understand you're trying to be creative, but you're also creating natural lanes. And we gave up 220 yards on the ground.
Yeah, but
On
I
the
mean,
ground.
but the quarterback got 68, right?
Yeah. But then
Okay,
also,
I mean,
and
but you're
some of
not going
those
to get 68 out of Dak, though. But you're not going to get 68 out of Dak, though.
yeah. What did
What it's
Dak have?
worth.
What did Dak have last week?
One carry for 3 yards.
Oh,
One
okay.
carry for 3 yards. Yeah,
That's,
like, bro, you're not. Yeah, I mean, you're not getting 68
and
out,
again,
ladies and gentlemen. You're not getting 68 out of
nah,
Dak.
and like again, for me, I'm looking at Dak. I'm like, okay, let's see if we could test that hamstring a little bit more. Can we get some pressure? Can we get him to move? Can we
Yeah.
get him uncomfortable? And then I got ideas. You know, I got some strategies in my head. Can that work? But I just don't trust Shane Bowen to come out with any of those that I'm thinking about. But
Yeah,
we hit almost
for sure,
the hour and a half
for
mark,
sure.
right? So
Hold on,
we're gonna wrap this thing up in a second.
Hold on, don't cut my
Okay.
mic yet. Hold on, don't cut my
No,
mic yet.
I wasn't just letting the people know. Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. We still
Hey,
got some time.
y'all got to match the intent. Look, I think the Cowboys are absolutely from what they've been preaching from February with this coaching staff.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't mesh. I don't think y'all are very physical week one, in my opinion. If y'all think of it different, that's fine. I don't think y'all are very physical.
Yeah.
We are going to be physical.
I think
and y'all are going to have to match that side. You know what I'm saying? My backside to this is, and I bring this to Giants fans. I'm like, say what you want about where Russ Wilson is in his career. But I saw the tweet. You see the tweet that Russ put out yesterday?
No, which one? Because he put out a couple of them, but I can't recall which one.
One. Yeah, he put the one about locking in, or however it went.
Oh yeah.
And that's the one thing about a guy who's been there, done that. Look, he might not be as good as he once been, but he can be good as he ever has been for one game, and that's something that he can mentally tough. There it is, Stephen Arch, mentally tough.
Yeah, thank you.
I do buy that from him. He can't be who he once was for an entire season. I think that ship is sailed for sure when it comes to him. But I think he can get up for one game. And for me, that gives me a little pause because I think as a guy like that, he can kind of do that. And you're right, Steven. Y'all wasn't physical enough last week, but you got to do it this week. You might do it this week. It's early in the season.
Shout out to my guy Stephen Arce. I'll say this: there were times where we had a little bit of momentum, but it was about where the intensity was coming from. Like Drew Phillips had a couple big tackles.
Okay.
But you didn't capitalize on that intensity. On the offensive side, you had that nice run or that nice catch and run by Cam Scatterbull where he was able to break a couple tackles. But you weren't able to capitalize on that. Cam had like -2 yards rushing. Like, did you not? -2 yards.
Hey, he did run over his own offensive lineman though. He's like, get out of my way.
That was part of that -2 yards, right? Speaking of that goal line series for us on the 2-yard line, what are you doing? Like, and again, I stood up for the whole game. I stood in front of my TV for the whole game. My back was hurting at the end of the day.
Hey, who's your play caller?
Is Mike Kafka. They got cute, but the bad thing about it is we had already had plays in the red zone prior to the penalty that got us to the 2-yard line, and then that's what they decided to do. So, man, listen, it is what it is. But I just think you're absolutely right as far as mental toughness, and then also just that physicality on the field. I think we do have some guys that can bring that intensity. Is if those other guys, those other 7-8 guys can also feed off that same intensity. But I think because of the stakes of this game, I think the energy level, you're not gonna complain about the energy level. Both teams are gonna come out ready to play. It's just about who reacts to the punch in the face first. Like, how does it happen? Who gets punched in the face first, and who reacts to that, and how they react to that, I think is what's going to be with the New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. So, I'm gonna ask you this question before we get out of here. I always try to get a prediction. I
do have one. Look, I have a final question. Once we do that, I got one final question. We'll get out of here. But go ahead. What's your question?
No, that's it. I need your prediction for the game.
Prediction. Yeah, I think this is a close game in the first half. I do think this is going to be pretty close because NFC East battle. Both sides are fighting for early season life and not to be 0-2 in the division. But ultimately, I do think the better team overall is going to win in the second half. And ultimately, I do think the Cowboys are the better team. I think we have the better coaching staff at this point. I think
I'm not
we
gonna
have the
argue.
better,
I'm gonna
I
argue
think we have the
from it.
better special teams at this point. We definitely have the better offensive line right now, and we have the better quarterback and weapons at this point. I think those are the things, and I just think that's the recipe. I think you're going to fight for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are definitely going to put up a fight, but I think the second half it gets stretched out. I've seen a lot of people. I've heard Giants fans say it. I think it was in the chat tonight even and whatnot, and talk about 40 burgers, this and that. I'm not going that high. No, I'm not going that high. It's the NFCs. I got the Cowboys winning this thing. I think it's going to be around. I think it's going to be around 10-7, 13-10, something like that in the first seven. I think the Cowboys stretch it out, and they're going to win this game 27-13.
Oof. So some a nice offensive explosion in the second half, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
think they
guys
stretch
pull
it
away.
out.
No. Listen, I said for me, it's way too early. To think or to set like a prediction for this game, but I will anyway, because at the end of the day, I believe blue, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a bounce back. I like what you said about Russell Wilson, having at least that one game in him. At some point in time, he can have that one game in him. I'm hoping that one game is against the Cowboys on Sunday. Here's my thing, right? Obviously he hears the whispers. He's looking over his shoulder because they made it that way with Jackson Dart. But I think that he got enough fight in him to try to make this one a game. And as long as this defense can keep it close, whether it be a touchdown or a field goal or something, if we keep it close like that, maybe, just maybe, we pull off a big play. Maybe one of those moon balls happen and we can pull away at the end. I saw a graphic that said the only positions they gave us on the graphic was the running back, which okay, and then the defensive line, the edge, the edge room, the front, whatever, and that was it. Everything else was in the Cowboys' favor. But man, I 21-17 Giants. 21-7. Maybe 20-17, because I can't even say 21 because it's the New York field goal Giants at the end of the day. And we definitely good for at least one or two field goals. So maybe 27, maybe 2018. Who knows? Somebody might get the safeties in there somewhere.
Maybe 2019. How about 2019? Make it even closer.
2019. I'm hoping that, but at the end of the day, for me, obviously, I want to win. Fair. But ultimately, I want to see something from the New York. I want to see signs of life. If it's a hard fought game, we go. Yeah. If it's a hard fought, if it's a hard fought game, right? Yeah. That's what it's been.
Or maybe it's a far. Maybe it is a far from y'all. I don't know.
That's all we've been doing, right?
What they call that Freudian slip there from you, good sir?
Oh gosh, right. But no, if it's a competitive game, and we go back and forth, we don't look like a bunch of dead fish out there, and we able to score some touchdowns, I would feel better even in a loss. But ultimately, like you said, big game for both of us. The loser goes 0-2 in the division, and nobody wants to start 0-2 in the division. So before we get out of here, Nix, now, do you have any more questions for me? We good? You got one more?
Here's my last question, and this is for you and all of Big Blue. I think, is that what it is? Big Blue? Is that what y'all do over here? That's Big Blue over here in the chat. Are y'all ready to realize that y'all have swapped places with Washington, and y'all are in the gutter now, as Washington was for 30 plus years? Are you there yet?
Listen, I already know that we're in the basement. We already know that. I already know. Yeah, I already know it. My main thing about this was we were last week, because they called us basement dwellers. That the Commanders called us basement dwellers when they just got out of the basement themselves, right? Okay. And I said last week, we walking up the steps. We walking up them basement steps trying to get to the first floor. And then we got knocked right back down them steps. So we understand what's going on. And a lot of us already been feeling it for the past decade. Even when we had Eli for those final years, even with the Super Bowl wins, we weren't consistent, as far as having that a constant contender and stuff like that. So we understand what our place is right now. We're just upset because it was always the Commanders underneath the wing, and now the Commanders is not underneath the wing, and right now we are looking at everybody else from the base. But hopefully we can drag you guys down with us next week.
No, sir. Relax. Let's make sure y'all stay there and make sure we have some hope on this side. How about that?
Listen, Nick. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate you vibing with me. Again, we got a good relationship on Twitter. We get to talk ball. We get to talk, other things as well. So before we get out here, let the people know what you got going on and where they can find you.
Yeah. Drop that comment real quick. You go to see it. You can drop that comment real quick for me.
Where'd it go? I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Which one is? There's another comment up. Just drop a comment. Yeah. Or get the comment off of the screen.
No. Let me.
No, wait, no, yeah, still up.
I'm
my bad. I thought I had my name up there. Never mind. The John Williams cover name. It's fine. No, you good. Hey, look. No, it's all good. Hey, look, man, it's very easily your _guy _Nix NIX. You can pretty much catch me that way on X, Twitter, whatever you call it this year. So on and so forth. Look, I'm trying to do TikTok. It's just your guy Nix without the underscores. And of course, over on YouTube, you can find me at As the Star Turns, if you will. H-Town's doing a whole bunch over here. Answer the question. Do you realize the 30-plus years of failure for your cowards, H-Town, Texas? I will absolutely answer it, though. It's not really a problem for me. Look, I don't duck smoke. I mean, maybe you don't know who I am. Here's the thing. We ain't the bottom dwellers. We not gotten out of the divisional round, going on the 30th year and the whole nine. Sure. But you know what I absolutely do know? Look, we are prime time. It ain't really even about us. It's not about me wearing this Cowboys lid and everything else. It's all y'all hate watching. Y'all get tired of hearing about us, but it's y'all. Y'all can't turn the TV off. Y'all locked in. So when other teams are in the bottom cellar and everything, y'all still watch us, though, unlike y'all, or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, man. I mean, cool story. You know what's funny about that is the Niners have been the dweller longer. They haven't won a Super Bowl since we won one. Cool. They went to a couple of Super Bowls. Did they win them? No. They're in a longer drought. Hey, salute to the Washington Commanders. They made an NFC Championship game for the first time since 91. Hang the banner. They didn't go to the Super Bowl, so who cares? So at the end of the day, either you win the ring or you don't. Either you're first or you're last. Shout out to Ricky, Bobby, and them. And by the way, real quick, the Giants got 2 in the 2000s, right? What was that? What years was that? 07, 10, 11?
Why'd you get them started? Why'd you get them started, H-Town?
Hey, real quick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We've been asked for 30 years. Why ain't you caught up, fella? It's pretty simple math. So, man, it's easy money, man. Hey, it's easy money, bro. It's easy money. Like, all the things that you throw out there and do and everything, you think, look, you can't hurt me like the Cowboys have hurt me. Let's be clear. Number one. Number two, anything that you're saying, the Cowgirls this and whatever the hell you doing in the chat, you think I ain't heard this stuff? This is badminton. Pickleball. I'm playing pickleball with y'all. This is easy work. This is 30 years. Oh no.
All right. H-Town, man. What you doing, man? Why'd you get him started, man? See,
30. He came to spell losing right. There's too many O's there. It's just one.
Right. My bad. Yeah, emphasis. Just emphasis on the losing. On the losing. Listen. See, man, and look, we had a nice little
one star team rating. I've never seen that one either, Steve.
In H-Town. Shout out to my man H-Town. Shout out to my man H-Town. Again, we gotta have some competitive. You should have saw it last week. Last week, the chat between they had some Commander fans in the chat going back, and you already know New Money. You know how New Money act. Mm-hmm. You know how New Money act, and they didn't even win anything, and know how New Money act. And listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to the NFC East, obviously the Cowboys, as far as Super Bowls go, got the most. Right behind them are the New York Giants with 4. So you got 6. No, you got 6. No, you got 5. 5. Okay, I'm tripping. Who's 6?
We got 5, so I don't know what to tell y'all. Yeah. Enjoy. Catch up. It's pretty simple.
Come on, man. Well, listen. We got into 2029 to keep the streak going for every decade. What do you say?
There it is. Hey, Yeah, 80s, 90s, yeah,
It's gotta be a
2000s,
throwback.
2010s. No, absolutely. No, man, hey, though, man. No, it's all, yeah, man, hey, brother, I love it. Look, don't take this shit serious. Man, man, if we can't have fun about
Yeah,
football and talking trash a little bit here and there,
that's,
this is what made the show's fun. Man, I'm cool with that, man. It is all good, brother. It is all good. Hey, look, hey, Steve, you're wrong. VHS tapes? No, apparently you didn't see the shit on Netflix. We stream it in 4K now, fella. We don't need VHS tapes to look at our Super Bowls
yeah,
anymore.
hey,
You gotta figure it out.
let this man be, please. Let this man be. Y'all
All good.
attacking again.
I'm
Y'all was
proud of
attacking each other before. Nah, it's cool. Nah, we cool. Nah, we know you can take the punches and give them back too, man. We
Oh
already
yeah,
know. We already know. But
it's
now
all good, man.
again,
Look, you want to come in here, man? Appreciate you, brother.
and I appreciate you too, man. Again, thank you for stopping by. You know, we
Absolutely.
do play again.
Hey man, shout out to your son real quick. I know we talked about this on the back channel. I don't know if everybody
Yeah.
in the channel knows it or not. Man, y'all hear this nice beat going in the background?
Yeah,
Man, clap it up. Yeah, man, clap it up one time for my
No,
dog. Yeah, turn that thing up. Yeah, man. Shout out to the son, man. He made the beat.
That's a fact, man. And also, like I said, I told Nix it's his birthday today too. So happy birthday to my middle son. My middle son, salute to him. And you know what? He charged me for these beats too, man. He charged me for these beats, and he get a percentage off his beats too, because his mom is a momager, and she made sure that he gets his cut every time I get my cut from YouTube.
Hey, look, tell him I might need something. I'm not kidding. Tell him I might need something. Look, good for him. Get the cut. I might need something. I'm about to DM you. Might get something on the backside. It is what it is. Let him give me something. The Cowboys.
I might be able to work. Yeah, nah. But again, yo, Nix, I appreciate you again for hanging out.
Yes,
we do play again later on in the season. You know, you the first Dallas Cowboys content creator I'm gonna reach out to, man. So let me know if you.
Yeah, we'll put back to the game for sure. Hey, real quick for everybody in the building. Hey, as soon as we exit up out of here, about 5-10 minutes, I'll be live over there on Twitter. We'll have a space up. I call it Twitter. His mama called him Twitter. The X thing messes with me, so I'm old, whatever. But I'll be live over there running a space. If y'all want to pull up and talk about the game or whatever we talked about or whatever. Hey, brother, if you want to come over and grab a coach, you're more than welcome to as well. Neither here nor there. And we're going to continue. Yeah, we'll continue the party over there on X/Twitter. Your _guy _Nix, and come on through for sure. And we'll keep the party going.
All right, man. I appreciate you. You have a good night, man.
Yes, sir.
See you in a few. All right, everybody. So that wraps up another Giants War Room. And again, I appreciate everybody for vibing with me. We're going to get through a couple more of these comments. One thing that I didn't get a chance to do, I saw some people putting in some predictions. Before we get out of here, anybody that's still in here, still wants to participate, let me know what your predictions are. We're going to read a couple of predictions, and then we're going to get out of here. Dad's Life said, Nix, you lucky you got that beer. Come on, man. We gotta keep these beers going. We got to hide ourselves sometimes. My man H-Town, Texas says, hope everything goes well with everyone. Now, I appreciate everybody for vibing. Ant says, love that beat. Yeah, shout out to my son for making that beat. He made a couple of beats that's on the show, outside of the intros, but all the background beats my son didn't make. My man Joseph Wilcox says 21-17 Giants. Let's see if we can get some more before we get out of here. And again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. That's it. I guess that's it. We only got the one from Joseph Wilcox. So everybody, it's going to be a big game this week, especially for the New York Giants. Again, we cannot start this season 0-2. That's something that just can't happen. I don't know how we're going to pull it off, but some way, somehow, we got to pull it off. I'm hoping that for a lot of people that are already down or out on Russ, give it one more game. Give it one more game and see what the strategy is going to be. Let's see. My man Stephen R. says 2017 Giants field goal by the Pro Bowl Gano. King T'Challa says 17-13 G-Men. Where was another one? Sean Jackson says, Dash, my prediction is our Giants will score more than 6 points. Right now, I'll take that too. My man Stephen R. says that the Cowboys win, it'll be 31-17. Well, let's not hope that happens. Let's not hope that happens. Listen, it is what it is. But again, it's getting late. Shout out to everybody for vibing. We got, who else is here? Stephen R. says phones was Stephen R. said the phones were on the wall. iPhones was an idea the last time the Cowboys won anything. listen, it is what it is. I'm not going to keep going after him since he's not in here anymore to defend himself. But shout out to Luann. Luann says if Giants start 0-2, they can still bounce back. 2 games at home coming up. 2 games at home. That's a fact. Hopefully we can turn things around, but I want to turn things around this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. Just remember, we got another show on Saturday, Late Night Giants Talk. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Then, of course, the post-game live after the Dallas and Giants matchup. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Hopefully, it's going to be a celebratory stream instead of what we dealt with last week and needed some therapy. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.